So I'm finally back, and today I'm gonna show you how to pre-stretch expressions the pink way, the only way. Okay, so let's get into it. So first of all, I picked up 3 colors, and this was just my color theory. Of course, I wanted to do the fantasy braids, so I picked up the tinsels. I got them off Shein for like 75p each. And at this point, I was just my own inspo because I ain't never seen nobody do it like this. Okay. So this is what I've already made. It's pink, but it's also given rose gold, but I love what I made. It's just absolutely perfect. To start off with, I used hot pink, then I used silver and brown. So those are my 3 colors. Of course, everyone's color theory is different, but this is what I deemed would work in my head, and it worked out perfectly, as you already saw. So this is just me taking the hair out the packet. So this is the before and this is after. You can pick up baby pink in the shop, but no, I wanted to make it, and yeah. And also the baby pink just doesn't slap. It just don't hit, okay? So we gotta make it from scratch. We gotta make our own flavor. So you're going to take it out of the packet. You're going to cut it in half where the hairband is. I also got these scissors off Shein. Like, Shein is just basically my whole entire life. And guys, I recorded this video ages ago, and I'm finally back from my holiday with the hair. And I just want to say I'm never doing braids again. Of course, I've had braids before when I was younger, but this boho braids are a whole different breed. Like, they need love, affection, time. But separately, like, yeah, I just can't with braids. Like, and this hair was so long. Like, even in the shop, she was complaining like, oh, the hair is too long. It's too long. I can't braid down this far. I was just ignoring her because I paid you to do a service, so you need to be doing the service. Like, I'm not even going to respond to that. And don't worry, we're going to talk about my experience later. But as you can visually see, the hair comes in a hairband, right? You're going to cut it straight into the middle. Then you get 2 pieces. I'm tying the knot of 1 piece and I'm dashing it away, because this hair gets messy. It grabs onto things. There's hair all over the floor. You don't want that. So you tie it, you make a knot, you put it in a hairband, do something, and then you put it away. So we're going to use that at a later time, maybe for our next batch of hair. The other piece is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to take each piece and then just mix the colors together, but you'll see that later on. Now, this is the 3rd and final color that I'll be adding to the mixing process. Originally, I did do plain straight 27. This time you can see it is a 27 ombre. So right here you can see the difference between both of them. I have 27, which is quite darker, and we have 27 ombre, which is fairly light. Originally, I wanted pink fantasy braids that are ombre. So it starts with pink and transitions into silver whitish at the bottom. But as this video goes along, you will soon see that I really did make a mistake. I should have just stuck with the original 27 and not 27 ombre, because it was giving me a baby pink, like the baby pink that I would see in the store. The whole process just became long and tedious, because that meant I had to go back to the original color, add more 27, I had to add more hot pink, I had to do more balancing out. But you know, trial and error. So yeah, back to the tutorial. I'm taking a little bit of pink, a little bit of silver, and that is how I'm going to start. Bear in mind that you are dealing with hot pink. Hot pink is a very strong color, so you don't need that much pink. But of course, as you go along and you're constantly stretching the hair, you'll be able to see if you need more silver, if you need more brown, etc. So with the tinsels, if you've ever seen tinsels in real life, they're really hard to deal with. They get knotted up so quickly. Like, look at my face. I was so shocked because I've just taken it out of the packet and it's already gone left. With the tinsels, I already knew not to add it in. I just knew it would go left, because at the end of the day, I have to brush the hair in order to pre-stretch it. Brushing tinsel is like you're asking for problems basically. But you know, silly old me, I decided to add it in midway because I don't know, why not. Let's see if I can really do this. Let's see. And let's just play with fire a little bit. I'm gonna slow this video down for you so you can really grasp what exactly I'm doing. Once you get the hang of it, you're gonna be moving fast just like me, and it'll be a breeze. Now look, I am literally pulling them apart and putting them back together again, but not in the same place. Take 2 sections, I pull it apart, I twist it, and then I add it back. So I can either add it back on the top, I can add it back more to the left, I can add it back more to the right, I can add it back to the bottom, just as long as it's not the same place. So I always twist it and then I put it back. And when I say I place it back, I mean in another section. Because I'm twisting my hand, the hair will never be in the same position it once was before. If I see too much of one color, I separate it by pulling it apart. So if I see too much pink, I pull it apart, I twist my hand and I add it back to another section. And vice versa with the silver. If I see too much silver in one part, I separate it, I twist my hand and I add it back to the pile, but in another section. Okay, just in case I'm not articulating myself well, we're gonna go again, okay? We are taking our 2 colors, hot pink and silver. Why? Because we make baby pink, and we want to take it slow. Mixing too many colors at the start will make your mind kabubble. That is for the professionals, okay? We're taking baby steps here. So we're mixing our 2 colors, hot pink and silver. Where I see too much of one color, we want to pull that apart. We want to mix the colors, okay? I see too much pink. I pull that apart, I twist my hand, and I add it back to the pile, but in another section. I really just repeated the same thing, but some of you guys are visual learners. You learn better when someone is literally doing it instead of just talking. But yeah, this is what we've made so far. Running your hands through it is not going to be enough. You need to brush that hair, okay? And I love this stage so much because this is a stage where you get to see your work. Is the silver doing what needs to be done? Am I really getting to that baby pink? Do I need to add more silver? Do I need to just keep mixing? Do I need to keep brushing? These are the questions I'm always constantly asking myself, that's running through my brain, because you don't want to keep mixing colors, going through this entire ordeal, and the whole time you just needed more silver to get to where you needed to go. But for right now, that silver is getting put to work, okay? Is actually making that baby pink. So yeah, I am happy with it. And you can do this at the beginning, you can do this midway, you can do this at the end. I tend to do it midway. My next step is going to be to blow dry. That is normally your final step when it comes to pre-stretching, is just to actually what? Stretch the hair. I put it in between my legs because I have no other way of doing it. And I pull the hair bit by bit whilst the heat goes onto it. Then I get my brush, I brush through it. Normally you'll put some cream in there. Some Blue Magic is fine. I prefer to use the coconut. You'll see me waving my brush about. That's just me showing you how much hair came out from just one piece. And throughout the process, you'll see a lot of hair. Once again, if you are a visual person, this is just the cream I'm using. Blue Magic, coconut, and then I run my fingers through it. And if this is your first time stretching out hair, I would maybe advise you to do this in the beginning. So brush the hair, blow dry the hair, just make it as soft as possible so that will be easy on you, easier on your hands too. But here is me being a dumb blonde, and like I said, I'm adding the tinsel in. Because why? I want to play with fire. But it did turn out okay. Not all the tinsel came out. Of course, like I mentioned, you are brushing the hair constantly. So, of course, tinsel is part of the hair. It's going to come out. But yeah, it did stay a little bit, but not all the way. It's just a learning curve to just add the tinsel when you're going to do the braid. But if you do have a braider that is not feeling it and don't want to add the tinsel in whilst braiding, just go ahead and do this step because we don't have time for none of that, okay? Not everyone is open to fantasy braids, clearly. And not everyone knows about fantasy braids and dealing with tinsel. So they will be a little bit confused if you take it to your braider and they don't know about it. So yeah, you can always do this and be one step ahead, I guess. So this is just what we've made so far. Hopefully yours looks a little bit like mine. Let me know what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and yeah. Okay, now we're on our third and final color, 27 ombre. This is now step 3, 4, 5, I don't even know at this point. But out of this entire bundle, you're going to take a small inch, and that is what is going to be added to our previous hair colors, hot pink and silver. Bear in mind that the pink and silver hair isn't fully pre-stretched. It's only half pre-stretched. Now that I'm adding the third color, we are going to keep mixing until we can't mix no more. Now, I need you to pay attention. When adding the third color, you need to place it right into the middle so that when stretched, it becomes the same length as the first two colors. If it is placed too far to the left or too far to the right, it won't be the same length and it won't blend properly unless you're trying to do ombre. But that is not what we're doing today. But we need the hair to stretch evenly and we need it to blend evenly. Now, I don't know how well I have articulated myself throughout this video, but we're gonna go into depth and explain the terminology as to why I twist my hand when mixing colors. Some of you may, already know the reason why. Others may not. So for the others, we're going to explain. And if you're still a little confused on how to pre-stretch hair, maybe this will help you understand better. So yeah, the twisting motion is so the strands don't return to the same position that they started in. For example, when I'm pulling a section apart, this could be either the left side or the right side. After twisting my hand and adding it back to the section, is no longer in the same position it started in. Something that was once on the right side is no longer on the right and it ends up on the left. Something that was on the left side ends up on the right side. So yes, it is a very subtle movement, but it helps distribute the hair. That is how we mix the hair, and lastly, that is what helps create such a natural blend. And that's just the terminology behind why I twist my hand. So hopefully you understand a little bit better. But guys, I need you to listen closely because my little sister's in the back and she was narrating the video for me. So just listen to what she has to say.
Okay, here's the ugly hair I do not like, but it really looks amazing on the brightness. But now now you wanna like and subscribe. Stop saying that. No, now. If I keep on saying narrator, like and subscribe, I'm going to slap my face. So I'm really loving this, and now I'm gonna be like, this is so amazing. If I see this in my party, everyone's gonna say like, girl, good girl, you look amazing. And this is going to look so fantastic in my show.
So yeah, anyways, back to what I'm saying. I have chopped this video, so I was only showing you highlights of what I've done. I probably sat here for God knows how long, hours, pre-stretching all this hair. So it's not a fast process, it's not a quick process. It takes time, it takes effort, and you're gonna have to do this 1,000,000,001 times. So yeah, be prepared if you are willing to try it. But it is a tedious process, but it's a fun process at the same time. Like, I loved doing it. I think it actually sparked something in me creating colors. As kiddish as that sounds, it was amazing testing my color theory and guessing what would make sense, what wouldn't. Like, I was just putting my brain to the test, and I guess that was a challenge for me, and I like a challenge. At this point, I wasn't really happy with the color, so I went back in to get some more brown. I got some more silver and I added it in. Like I said, you'll be mixing colors and testing what works and what doesn't work. But I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let you watch, because I feel like I explained enough.
How many minutes are you gonna do this? Would this look amazing?
Just for a side by side, I do feel like this one that I did was way more better. But I've actually noticed, because of the dilemma I have with the curly pieces that are going to be crocheted in, I'm actually thinking to leave it more pink, because I really don't want this to get washed out. Like, I don't want my pink to be washed out. I don't even know if you can see this, but the glitter is there. Well, you can't really see it. I'm probably going to have to put it with flash or something, but it looks so beautiful to me. But yeah, so I actually did crop the next part out, forgive me, but I went back in again and I just kept mixing and mixing and mixing until I got this. So this is the final result. But yeah, I originally told you guys that I was afraid of the tinsel just vanishing, but you can definitely see it, even if you do have to squint your eye. But let me know what you guys think. Do you love this color, or do you love what I first originally made, which I showed you, the rose gold? Because this is definitely like a lighter pink, I guess, which is why I wasn't really feeling it per se. Especially because I told you I'm using the 27 ombre, which is giving me a different color as opposed to the 27. But yeah, it still came out beautiful to me, and yeah, just a very gorgeous pink. Here's me just trying to take out all the tinsels. I'm trying to save them by saving grace. I'm adding them back to the hair. Sorry, I'm not sorry. But guys, please know that I made about 10 pre-stretched bundles. So I was sitting there for a whole day, and I took a portion of my day just to show you how to pre-stretch. Here's me starting again. I'm starting again because I now need to do another batch. So yeah, looks like I didn't take long, or maybe it did look like I take long, but yeah, here's to starting again. Remember today we dyed the hair? This is how it came out. Like, you can see there's little pink hints, but the actual main thing, the main part that I wanted is non-existent. Okay, so it's the next morning and my dye showed up. So this is the synthetic dye. So I poured it on, literally the same process as before. It looks so much darker than the other one, so we're going to see how this actually looks when washed out. But But yeah, I'm gonna wash it out now because I have my hair appointment tomorrow. So I really need to see how this is gonna work. Well, how this turns out. Yeah, if it did and I don't like the results, then I'll add more dye. If it didn't, then I give up. It is what it is. I think this is really pretty. Working. I want to like show you, but like I feel like I can't show you. Guys, I just need to show you the nails that I got with this hair. Like, do you love it or do you love it? But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video and peace out.